Now with me online I have Mick Langan, and Mick is a candidate in the forthcoming Senate election. Mick, you're very welcome to Connemara Community Radio.
Thanks very much, Pat.
Now, Mick, it's in the NUI panel, isn't it?
It is indeed,
yeah. That you're going for. Now, first of all, I believe you have connections with the local area. You might just introduce yourself and tell us what your connections with the local area are.
Not a bother. I live a lot of the time down in Connemara because I'm involved in tourism, Pat.
Right.
I've worked for the last about 15 years in Killary Tours, bringing French people around the country. And so I would spend a large amount of my summer down in Connemara, my summer being from May until September.
The next question is, why are you going into politics? You mentioned you're involved in tourism. Is it for that reason?
It's for representing tourism and maintaining a very important industry that exists in the country. I mean, it's one of the few things that we have in the country, Pat, where you can live where you want and you make a living out of it.
Okay.
It's necessary this time where everything is in difficulty that somebody stands up and says, listen, this is an important sector.
Now, I suppose before people ring in and say, I'd like to vote for you, obviously it's only graduates, is it?
It's a very curious election, Pat. Possibly the most democratic, but that's only put in inverted commas. There's 97,000 people that can vote in it, and they are graduates of UCG, Mary I in Limerick, UCC in Cork, UCD in Dublin, Maynooth as well, and then you have Teacher Training College in Sligo, Drumcondra and Kerrysford.
But all of these people would have received that information that they had a vote.
All of these people should have received that information, but it's not always the case.
Yeah.
I mean, to date, as a candidate, I get an update of how many votes have been received by the NUI, and to date there's about 15,000 votes have been received, about 16,000 have been returned, 200 have been resent out to new addresses, which leaves about 66,000 people which haven't cast a vote yet with 2 weeks to go.
That's right. The 27th of April, is the closing date?
Yes, that's right. And the other thing, Pat, is it's actually just the Wednesday after Easter. So essentially, you know, there's less time than people think
Absolutely,
to have a vote.
Now, so basically you're appealing to people who might be listening to us to vote for Mick Langan. Now, have they got the list of candidates, or have they got the voting sheet with their information?
The ballot was sent out to people. You'd have everybody's name on it, and my name has tourism promoter and photographer beside it. I didn't send out a leaflet because candidates can avail of what they call free posting, but I discovered it wasn't free posting, Pat. It was the taxpayer, that's you and me, in our ordinary way paying for it. And 21 candidates did send it out, and that cost us €1 million.
Wow.
In a time when we're in difficulty, you really have to think new ways. That's what we have to do now. We look at what we have, and what we have is ourselves, our culture, the landscape.
Mick, I suppose people might be saying, okay, on the one hand, Enda Kenny is closing the Senate down, and on the other hand, we're having the election. You know what I mean? So obviously...
You can't actually close it down, though, Pat.
Tell us about that, then.
Well, it's constitutional.
Okay.
So, as you know, you have to have a referendum to change the constitution. So a lot of the grandstanding for shutting down and abolishing the Seanad is just grandstanding until the people of Ireland decide. At this point in time, there's no real opposition in the Dáil to scrutinise what's going on, and at least the Seanad has that possibility to scrutinise the legislation, amend it and send it back to the Dáil.
Well, most of the experts that we spoke to on this radio station, Michael D, Eamon O'Keefe, lots of other influential politicians, say it did have a function, really.
It does, and I think its function has to be reinvented. Essentially, it's been used as a waiting room or as a retirement home, and I believe it has a very valuable part. I think it should represent the community of Ireland in a non-geographical way. Now,
Mick, I mean, this is high risk in the sense that it's very difficult, I suppose, to canvass this electorate.
It is, Pat. It's like running in the dark. It's a very solitary experience, this election, because the electorate is so disparate. People who are in tourism oftentimes never decided to be in tourism. I never decided to get into tourism, but I fell into it and I loved it, and I have a degree. So there's plenty of people with qualifications out there that work in tourism. So even if somebody's listening tonight that doesn't have a vote, they might recommend me to somebody in the family. I'm the only candidate that's actually going to represent tourism on the NUI Seanad seat.
We'll do that indeed, Mick, and the best of luck to you.
Thanks very much, Pat.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome indeed. Now, that was Mick Langan there, and Mick is a candidate in the forthcoming election. If you've got a vote in the NUI panel, as I say, he's a man that's working in tourism, and I'm sure people in the tourist industry in Connemara would fully appreciate having somebody somewhere who would fight their cause.